Have you ever felt that invisible wall go up? That moment when the conversation dies, and you're left wondering if you said something wrong, or if maybe, just maybe, the connection you thought you had wasn't real. It's a lonely feeling, one that can make you question everything, especially as you get older. But what if I told you that the key to shattering that wall and building connections that last a lifetime is not about being younger, richer, or funnier? It's about mastering a skill so powerful, yet so overlooked, that it can transform every relationship in your life, starting today. Hi, I'm Mira, and though my day job is as a urologist, I spend my days talking to men, not just about their health, but about their lives, their fears, and their hopes. And I've noticed a pattern. The men who thrive, the ones who are happiest and most connected after 50, all share one secret trait. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain and sharing that secret with you. We're going to talk about the single most attractive trait a man over 50 can have. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about amplifying the best parts of you. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor and comment where you're watching from. I love seeing how far this community reaches, from Texas to Toronto to Tasmania. It's amazing to connect with you all. Okay, let's get into it. So, what is this magic trait? Is it a chiseled jawline, a fat bank account, a garage full of classic cars? No. While those things are nice, they are fleeting. The single most attractive, most magnetic quality a man can cultivate, especially after 50, is genuine, undistracted presence. I know. It sounds almost too simple, right? Presence? That's it? But think about it. When was the last time someone gave you their absolute undivided attention? No phone buzzing on the table, no eyes darting around the room. Just them, fully locked in with you, listening not just to your words, but to the meaning behind them. How did that make you feel? Seen? Valued? Respected? That is the power you hold. In a world of endless distraction, of constant pings and notifications, the ability to be fully present is the rarest and most valuable gift you can give someone. It's a superpower. I remember a patient, let's call him David. He was 62, recently divorced, and felt completely invisible. He'd go on dates, and he'd try to connect with his adult kids, but he always felt like he was failing. He told me, "Mira, I feel like I'm talking to a wall. They're scrolling on their phones while I'm telling them about my day. It's like I don't even exist." So I gave him a challenge. I said, "David, for the next week, I want you to become a master of presence. When you're with someone, your phone goes in your pocket, on silent. When they talk, you listen. You don't plan your reply. You don't interrupt. You just listen. Ask questions. Be curious about their world." He was skeptical, but he agreed to try. A week later, he came back, and he was a different man. He told me about a coffee date he'd had. He said, "For the first 20 minutes, she was a little guarded. But I just listened. I asked her about her work, her passions. And then, something shifted. She put her phone away, she leaned in, and we talked for 3 hours. She told me at the end, 'I can't remember the last time I felt so heard.'" David didn't just have a good date. He reconnected with his son. He found new joy in his friendships. By learning to be present for others, he started to feel more present in his own life. Still with me? If this is making sense, type yes in the comments below. I want to know we're on the same page. So, how do we cultivate this attractive trait of presence? It's a practice like any other skill. Here are 3 practical steps for men over 50. First, the digital sunset. At least an hour before you go to bed, and for the first hour after you wake up, put your devices away. This isn't just about sleep hygiene. It's about training your brain to exist without constant digital input. It creates a mental space where you can just be. This is your training ground. It helps you resist the urge to pull out your phone during a lull in conversation. Second, practice curious listening. This is the core of being present. When someone is speaking, your only job is to understand them. Not to fix their problem, not to share your related story, not to judge, just understand. A great way to do this is by asking open-ended questions. Instead of, "Did you have a good day?" Try, "What was the most interesting part of your day?" See the difference? One is a yes/no. The other is an invitation. It says, "I'm interested in you. Tell me more. Let me ask you a question." How often do you find yourself thinking about what you're going to say next, instead of truly listening to the person in front of you? Be honest. It's a common habit, but it's a connection killer. Breaking this habit is a game changer. Third, the anchor point. When you find your mind wandering, and it will, gently bring it back. Your anchor can be the speaker's eyes, the sound of their voice, or your own breath. You don't have to be perfect. The act of noticing your mind has wandered and bringing it back is the practice. Each time you do it, you're strengthening your presence muscle. This is what makes you a rock in a sea of distraction, someone people feel safe and comfortable with. I want you to think about the men you admire. Not the celebrities, but the real men in your life. The grandfather who could tell a story that captivated the whole room. The old boss who made you feel like you were the most important person in the world during your one-on-one meetings. What did they have in common? They had a powerful, grounded presence. They made you feel seen. That is the legacy of a great man. Comment with a 1 if you agree that being present is more attractive than wealth, or a 0 if you think I'm off base. I'm genuinely curious to hear your take on this. What we're really talking about here is moving beyond the surface. As we get older, we have a depth of experience, a wisdom that younger men simply don't have. Your scars tell stories. Your laughter holds a history of joy. Your perspective is a treasure. But none of that can be shared or appreciated if you're not present enough to let people in. Presence is the doorway to intimacy, to connection, to respect. It's what makes a woman feel safe and desired. It's what makes your children and grandchildren seek out your advice. It's what turns acquaintances into lifelong friends. It is the most attractive trait because it is the most human one. So here's my vision for you. Imagine yourself a few months from now. You walk into a room and you're not anxious. You're calm, you're grounded. You engage in a conversation and you're not trying to impress anyone. You're just curious. You're just there. You notice the person you're talking to relax, open up, and share something real. You feel a spark of genuine connection. You leave that interaction feeling energized, not drained. You start to notice this happening everywhere, with your partner, your family, the barista at your coffee shop. You feel more connected, more confident, and more alive than you have in years. That is not a fantasy. That is the direct result of practicing presence. That is the power you have right now. You've lived half a century or more. You've earned your wisdom. Now it's time to learn the skill of sharing it in the most powerful way possible. This journey is about becoming the most attractive version of yourself, not for anyone else, but for you. Because when you are truly present, you are truly alive. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this resonated with you and you're ready to become the most present, connected, and confident man you can be, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I have so much more to share with you. Until next time, be present and be well.